Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it's a 1 vs 1 on Orbital Shipyard between our purple Terran player, Mythic. Down on the bottom we have our red Zerg player, LiquidSnute. We're going to speed this on up. The 8x mark to the 2-minute point of the game, and everything is good. And I apologize for not producing too much content this week, as I have been ill all week and was not up to the challenge, but now I am. My voice is still not up to its regular status. However, I wanted to get on casting some replays because I was way behind, and there's lots of good replays out for all of the games that I cast. And if you guys don't know, I cast other games as well. They're great RTS games, so check those out too. And so our Terran player go for a expansion in the back of his base. I want to bite a couple racks here, 3 racks, and I'm gonna be busting out 2 Reapers at a time here. Quad Reapers. 2 Reapers now moving out here. Gonna get spotted by the Overlord though. And now Maynarding some drones over to the expansion, and the Queen is out. Some Zerglings already out. Gonna be moving after the Terran base, and the Queen's already ready for the Reapers there. No pun intended on that. Already ready. I don't know. Is that a pun? I'm not really sure. The Overlords spotting everything that's going on here. I'm going to try and take out some Zerglings. Doesn't take any out though. And take out 1, but not going to be enough to make a dent in this Zerg. All the Zerglings hiding over there. The Reapers trying to get some work done. A couple more Reapers now coming in here, and making even more Reapers. 6 total Reapers here. So that is a lot of Reapers. That's probably the most Reapers I've seen in a while come out from some high-end players. Charge goes off, knocks around all of the units, takes out 2 of those Reapers, so now down to just 4 Reapers. Another 2 Reapers in the back of the base here. Gonna hold the fort. Reapers are getting totally surrounded constantly here. Zergling's a little bit too fast for those Reapers, and pumping out multiple Marines here, and research and stim pack as well. Back at the Zerg base, getting a lair going and a Roach Warren. Zergling's gonna move back here, and a couple Overlords watching the Terran base. Starport coming up. And a factory with a reactor might swap that Starport, that reactor here. Another expansion coming down for the Zerg in the back of the base. And trying to get rid of his debris. They're going to switch up that Starport and double pump out Medivacs. And gonna make Tech Lab on the end of this factory here, and possibly pump out tanks. We'll have to see what he decides to do. And now roaches are pouring out from the Zerg here. Clear reconstitution coming as well. And 2 by 2 those Medivacs. And is pumping out siege tanks there. And some Reapers try to go the long way around, but got caught by those Zerglings. And so far the Reaper play really hasn't paid off at all. Units lost quite a bit more, pretty much entirely in Reapers. And Liberators coming out here from the Starport after those Medivacs. And Medivacs are moving out. They are loaded up, ready to go. The Roaches ominously lurking outside the Terran base here. There's a siege tank in the back, and the Liberator's on its way as well. And now going to land these Marines in the base, and should be able to do a little bit of damage here. We've got some Zerglings coming in, but it's not going to be quite enough just yet. And takes out 2 Queens, and 1 more Queen could be taken out here. So 3 queens lost, and maybe even a 4th queen. Nope, gonna go up to the drones instead. Another Roach Warren, but the roaches have bursted into the Terran base here. But the Liberator is pummeling these roaches, one-shotting them, two-shotting them rather. And the Terrans now landing in the expansion there, getting even more drone kills. So lots of economic damage going on at the Zerg base, but not so much at the Terran. Still producing units here to try and take out these roaches. Looks like the Liberator was destroyed at some point, and the Terran's still going here. Just 1 Marine left. And now streaming into the Terran base again here. All of these Zerglings moving in, and there's even more on the way. Terran forces him out for now. Snute will find another way soon. And that hole needs plugged up in the Terran base as soon as possible. Zerg now recovering from the economic loss that occurred earlier. So many queens were lost. I've seen at least 3 queens lost and quite a bit of resources. Liberator's now moving out, see what it decides to do. It's gonna harass some drones. Looks like some spore crawlers are just now coming up though, in preparation for just that. Queen takes a shot to the face from that Liberator there. Liberator really doesn't do too much. Hit that Queen once, did a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Now moving out with a bunch of sieged medevacs. Marine's doing a good job here, pushing in, and the Ravagers and the losing end of that one don't really get too much done on that Terran. Killed a bit of those tanks. Now a big old force pushing in here. These Zerglings, and takes out the front end of those, and some additional Marines in the back here, and even more on the way. A couple siege tanks down at the bottom here, and Ravager's going to try and bile those tanks there. Gets one of them. Zerg not as well upgraded, only has armor upgrades, whereas the Terran at 1-1. Now Snute all the way back in the base here, relying on just the main and the natural expansion there. Not going to bring up this one as well, but getting there is going to be easier said than done while being pushed here. Snute not in a very good position now. Can't even get his drones up there until he pushes his opponent out of this region here. And the longer the Terran gets, the more they siege you, and the easier it is for them to set up siege tanks on you, so the longer he stalls, the more set up Mythic will be. Nidus Worm coming up here in the main base. And we'll see how this works. Gonna load up this network here with a bunch of stuff. Now pouring into the Terran base. And Terran's gonna pour it into the Zerg base. And it looks like it's gonna be a base race now. And gotta really avoid those biles. All those Marines could get all kinds of messed up. And it's gonna kill the Nidus network and leave these units in the base, but it's nothing but a bunch of queens, really, and that's really not going to take out too much very quickly. And we do have liberators up there now, and they're just mangling these queens. And Snute has to GG, leaving Mythic our winner, and just outplayed this time around. And that Nidus Worm not very effective. All those queens are just not good at taking out the base. There doesn't have a lot of DPS on them, so just got overran by all the Marines and the tanks, and surprised that that even happened anyway because of the Reaper push at the beginning. He built 6 Reapers and they really didn't get anything. I think they only killed a few units, so that definitely wasn't worthwhile for him to build that many Reapers and then lose them so quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I'll see you guys next time.